More than any other time in history, I think today is one of the most exciting times to own a home gym. Reason being, there are more competitors producing more equipment across more price points, and the innovation continues to increase. And I love it. I'm going to talk today about some of the most exciting pieces that I've tested and tried that are coming out very shortly. Ooh, I'm excited for this. Let's get into it. Hey guys, it's Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. Thank you for joining. If this is your first time here, we review gym equipment, a lot of it, and talk about new stuff that's coming out, like this video. If you want to be a part of that, make sure you subscribe. And if you're more on a budget, we'll put a link below the like button where you can check out the Budget Gym Co-op, where we do similar videos, but for people more on a budget. Now, I want to talk about some of the most exciting releases that I've tried recently that are either coming to the market very soon, or some of these are already on the market, but most of these haven't even hit the market. Some are prototypes. Basically, across my travels over the last little bit, one of those, the most significant one, was Home Gym Con, where we did a full 2-hour video basically detailing all the stuff that we did there. Man, there is a lot of gym equipment forthcoming, and a lot of it's really freaking good. A lot of the stuff I really liked from Home Gym Con, I actually conned people into letting us take it home. One of those pieces is this behind me, the Iron Master IM3000 Valhalla, which we'll be doing a review on. A lot of this stuff too, let me know in the comments of what you want to see reviews on, and basically the ones that you're most excited about, we'll probably do reviews earlier on. So let me know in the comments and then upvote the comments that you most want to see. Okay. Let me start with a company specifically that I've tried recently. I've tried them previously in my travels, mostly whenever I went overseas to Germany, but that company is ATX. ATX, I've said this for a few years, and I actually told ATX this years ago when I was trying to get them come to the US. I'm telling you, I've been talking to them for 7 years, maybe 8 years, seeing the stuff they release overseas, but they just didn't do it in the US. They are going to be the third biggest competitor in the home gym space, in my opinion. Right now, the two most obvious big competitors, and I'm talking about the ones that have like full product lines, they're focused specifically on home gyms. The most obvious ones are Rogue Fitness and Rep Fitness. For a while there, it was really just Rogue leading the charge. You're always gonna have other competitors that come in the market. Rep Fitness was there, but finally, they really took off. They had some great hires with engineers. They just kind of transformed their business. And so those two are definitely the top. That's not saying there's not other companies that are doing cool stuff in the space, but just across broad product lines, those are two. The third head to the Leviathan is, why does a Leviathan have 3 heads? Hydra has 3 heads? The third head to the Hydra is going to be ATX, without a doubt, in the US. Basically, they met my expectations, and my expectations were extremely high for ATX. Their stuff is extremely well done. They have a lot of unique things. One thing that they're doing that Rogue and Rep aren't doing is they have more machines, more multi-use machines. Now, I foresee the market going more and more that way. Bulletproof is doing that. I'm gonna talk about them in a moment. But ATX specifically, they're offering a lot of rack setups. I have some critiques on some of the decisions that they made. We have one in-house. They are amazingly well done, but there are some things that they've decided that, I've got some different opinions on, which I'll mention when we do the review. Let me know if you want to see that. But specifically, the multi-use stuff they're doing is a breath of fresh air, because the multi-use mostly that we've seen from companies have simply been on racks and rack attachments. And there's so many other ways that you can provide attachments, specifically on benches, their ultimate bench with the different attachments for leg extension, leg curl, chest flies, and other things I'm freaking excited about. Also, the multi-press, I've got one in the other garage. The multi-press, it's sweet, man. It's a lot like a Power Tech piece, but there's just some components about it. It just feels really solid. They're doing knurling on the handles. It's just, it's nice. And then the price points should be very competitive against those companies too. So I think overall, one of the companies I was most excited after seeing them there and after testing their equipment, and I think you should be looking for the releases in the future, is definitely ATX. They're a company where if you're like considering buying new equipment that ATX sells, you may wanna wait until ATX comes to the US, which I've been told should be soon. And they took my advice. They're not doing a dealer network. They're going direct consumer. The reason I told them they should do that, they can offer lower pricing because they're not having to pay dealers. Next, This is a piece I've got in my garage. I haven't seen a lot of people talk about it. It doesn't have like wide adoption in the home gym community yet, but I was very impressed at Home Gym Con. When I got it into my house and have been using it, I'm even more impressed. If you want to see a review on this, make sure you subscribe because it is forthcoming. That is the Quantum Free Trainer. Here's what the Quantum Free Trainer really does is it takes what jammer arms I always wanted them to be, always thought they could be, and brings that into motion. Free motion, quantum free motion trainer thingamajig. The Quantum Free Trainer, the reason that's better than jammer arms, the reason the style works is because rather than having the uprights on the side, they bring them in, and it has the ability to lat pull downs, low rows with well done seat stays, and you can just park your bench in there. I've actually attached some Beyond Power Vultures to them for resistance, but you can use plates. Man, I have been using that thing a lot and it just works really well. It's definitely one of those systems where if you had a rack, some adjustable dumbbells, a bench, this would be one of those purchases you could make and you could do everything. I mean, there's just so much you can do with these. So that is definitely a piece I'd be looking at because it's coming out soon. It's really well done. Next is Rep Fitness. I'm just gonna do like Rep and Rogue Fitness together. There's a little bit disappointment. One was from Rogue because Rogue didn't want to talk to people on camera. That's their decision. That's fine. They can decide that. Rep Fitness, it may have been the time I caught them, but I talked to Joe, one of their engineers. Again, really nice guy. He kind of spoke to what he knew, but most of the stuff he just didn't really know a lot about. What's the angles that it can adjust to, do you know? Okay.
4 degrees. I don't really know what we're doing anymore.
What's the button for? I think he should probably know about it, but regardless, he probably just focuses on the stuff he works on. So probably not the best person to run me through it. Probably would have been better if it was Adam. But from the stuff I used, the leg extension leg curl is really cool, well done. It was overshadowed by the dialed motion, partially because the Rep version is just really big and bulky. I will say it's both plate loaded and cable loaded. Pretty cool if you have one of their benches. I mean, it's one of the problems with having one of the earlier versions of a leg extension leg curl for a bench. Other companies are looking at what has Rep done and then trying to base improvements upon that. The cable that winds underneath is interesting. It's really big and kind of bulky, so you're gonna have to put it into place and it kind of just stays there. But I will say it felt very good. The Smith machine from Rep looks and feels amazing, just extremely smooth. I will say after using the VTS for as long as I have, I just don't want a Smith machine without the ISO handles. The ISO handles are just so nice to have, but the Rep Smith machine was very smooth, very well done, and had some smart features with the angles. Pretty cool. And then the piece that shined from Rep was the wall-mounted Eris 2.0. It's so slim. The amount of weight you have available to you on the cables, the uprights for the squat rack, also the storage on the sides, just like, man, that thing is really cool. And with the front porch off the front, it would be nice if they had holes on the bottom too. I don't know why they didn't do that for extra attachments, but that whole system was awesome. Then Rogue. Rogue's racks were amazing. The coolest rack that you need to be looking for from Rogue is definitely the Rhino rack with the twin stacks. That way you have the twin stacks for the functional trainer off the front, and you have the Rogue Rhino for the lat pull downs, low rows, and also belt squat. That combination, I mean, it's amazing. It was so cool. And then the other things they're coming out with, the arc combination with Mutant Metals on the arc handle for the lat pull down with their aluminum handles that are knurled with the anodized aluminum. I have those on order. We'll be doing reviews. Those are super cool. Okay, then to Bulletproof. Bulletproof is coming out with a ton of stuff. They've been releasing prototypes and renders and all that stuff for a while. The stuff I've gotten to use from them recently is very well done. It is very cool and innovative. It's just the ones I use, they do feel like prototypes, and that's probably because they are prototypes, so hopefully the final versions feel different. But for instance, Larry had a Versa arm that was also a Smith machine, which was really cool, but just, I felt bad for him at Home Gym Con because the setup he had, he was just using off-the-shelf racks from Amazon because the racks that he shipped, they didn't come in. There's a problem with shipment, so he was just buying stuff on Amazon as quickly as he could to display them, which was cool to see, just making the best use that he could. But it made the products feel a little bit less polished than I think they could have. Also, some of his products, they're very well designed, but some of them are just so heavy. Like, he had these handles for the VTS that rotate all the way around, but even the start weight, I think for a lot of people would be too heavy, like just really heavy. So I think you just lose some of the audience that would love something like that, but literally can't lift it. Overall, the isolator with the unique weight horns was really cool. Again, adds a lot of weight. They're just kind of complex. Some of his stuff is really complex, and I think it just overwhelms people. I will say, for a tinkerer, his stuff is like heaven because there's just so much you can do with it. But he did have the isolator stand with the extra leg on it, which was nice for stability. Also had the extra weight horns, the flip weight horns that allows you to switch quickly with the isolator. There's a lot of cool stuff from Bulletproof that you should be watching out for. The one thing I don't think he had there that I'm most excited for is the Nolan machine that allows you to have a Smith machine with ISO arms that converge. That would be very nice. I'm really looking forward to that one. Okay, the machine that I'm most looking forward to, standalone machine, is by far the Temple of Gainz Quad Send. The Quad Send leg press hack squat is just extremely well thought through. Most leg press hack squat combos, you automatically have a piece where you're like, the leg press is great, but the hack squat, or the hack squat's great, leg press is, The depth is usually on those not very great. The quad send, the depth, you'll never reach the bottom of that thing. The integrations of things like digital resistance for the Beyond Power Voltra and things like that, it's just like, man. Plus you can use plates, just very well done. That piece, if you're in the market for those, that's one I would absolutely wait for and will definitely be living in my personal home gym. Now, Force USA has absolutely leveled up. When I tried the C20, the C20 is a different ball game from their other racks. They've taken some components from their X15 and X20 series, taken some components from their G20, G3, C10 series, and made what I think is the ultimate rack from Force USA, the C20. I honestly have been a little critical of Force USA over the years at times for some of their decision making. The C20, it seems like they listen to the reviews instead of getting like butthurt and being upset that I critique their stuff, which, by the way, that does happen. And man, there's an instance that happened at Home Gym Con that's in the back of my head. It's just like so frustrating that it happens. Regardless, Force USA, the C20 that they brought is so well done. It is a legit competitor to your Arises, your Rogue, FM trainers, those racks. It is that good. The ecosystem is very well done. The thought process they put into it, the details on even small stuff like the spotter arms, the J-cups, they really thought through it. And they're trying to create like an all-in-one system where for somebody that doesn't want to buy, all the different parts and pieces and put it together, you just want to buy from one company. It was awesome. Also, their new barbell collars, which they had in this cool like lit box, I thought was a sweet idea. They were very nice. They're like the SICK collars with the detent ball bearings on the inside. They're magnetic. They were nice. That one, we will definitely be doing a review on the C20. Plus, I want to see the C20 bench. I tried the C10 bench that was there. You guys have been asking for it for a long time. We've tried to get it. It's been out of stock from them forever. So I think part of it was they wanted to do a improved version for the C20. So watch out, that one will be forthcoming. Behind me, the Ironmaster IM3000 Valhalla. Using this new stuff from Ironmaster with their Super Pro Bench 2.0 with the new vinyl that is the same vinyl, feels the same as what Rep's using, feels the same as what Titan's using. I hope more companies use it because it feels very good. So if you don't have an Ironmaster bench or you want to upgrade it, get that vinyl. But the Valhalla, it's very unique to Ironmaster. Like, they're just stuff they do. They don't look at what other companies are doing. In some ways, that's really beneficial. In other ways, it's a detractor. Now, the piece of equipment that I'm most excited for, talked about in multiple areas, seems the one everybody's the most excited for, the dialed motion leg extension, leg curl, preacher curl. By far, at Home Gym Con, that was the star of the show. What I've seen online, that is the one I'm just like, oh, I really want to get that one in. That piece is extremely well done. I would guess for most of you, that's the one you're most excited about. The fact that you can attach it to a functional trainer or low row or like digital resistance or plate loaded resist. I mean, there's just a lot you can do with it. It can do multiple movements. You can do lying leg curl, seated leg curl, leg extension, plus the preacher curl. Plus, when I was talking to him, this may have something they were thinking about, but one thing I told them is like, do some tricep extensions. There's just a lot you can do with it with the retractor system. So the cable's just not hanging out. Man, that one, oh, it's amazing. I would not be surprised if they had a lot of companies come up to them at the show like, hey, we'd love to partner on this and release it through our channels. The thing I would say to Dialed Motion on that, it may be a good idea because I kind of worry they're not going to be able to keep up with demand. That's the worry. And people just won't be able to buy it, I'm worried about. Then Fringe Sport on their Dane 2.0 platform, the swivel arms for free motion arms, which I expect to see a lot of competitors to the GetRx Tornado arms. Those are cool. And the lat pull down attachment to take the pulley higher. I love that they're basically building on the Dane 2.0 because it's an awesome rack ecosystem. Very well thought through. I love the stainless uprights. It's a sweet rack, and being able to improve what's already done there, I think is great. And especially being able to improve for customers that already have it. I love that idea. Titan Fitness, the product that was a standout from them for me was by far something that's small, but was really well thought through, is the spotter arms, the half spotter arms, and the J cups. They come apart and come off very quick. They can basically go up and down the upright very quick. It's like very innovative, very smart. The cable tower from Titan was cool. I need more use with it. It's just real big. Like honestly, a lot of the stuff in their booth was just like big. I don't know, that's just the direction they're going. But some of the stuff like the chessboard row is like, man, this takes up a lot of space, but it does really one movement. Makes sense for a commercial market, but for home gym, it's just big. I don't know how else to say it. I just want some either smaller, or if it's going to be that big, give me some options with it. But the J cups and spotter arms, watch out for those. Very well done. Some smaller brands, specifically Rohrman Strength and Vendetta, their booth, some of the stuff I tried there was really cool. Vendetta with the fully adjustable jammer arms that also have the handles that can then take other handles like the Rohrman handles with the different angles on the new handles, the ability to use them for your pull-up bar, and that now that Rogue's manufacturing them and selling them too, man, it's like, those were sweet. I love seeing the smaller companies. There's a lot of cool smaller companies there. Another one was Dean from Black Widow. Dean's been in the industry making multi-press bars longer than just about anybody. And to see him really take on the dumbbell platform and come up with the V cradle and like make it all adjustable and everything is awesome. I think he's got so much business he doesn't know what to do with it with that thing, which is amazing because he's just a smaller guy and he makes them in his garage or his shop, Just cool that somebody can make a living making stuff just for the home gym community. Awesome. Okay, what's the piece of equipment that you're most excited for? Let me know in the comments. Did I miss any? Is there anything that you just want to let people know? Or one of these that I mentioned, you're like, that thing I am waiting for. And then it'll help us give an idea on when to do reviews. This has been Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. I'll see you next time. Peace.